and the hits just keep on coming. Hey, it's Steve Brown here. Welcome to Dirt Guy Drive Time, the show where I drive home from work talking about stuff, trying to be entertaining, trying to be deep, baby, deep, and I don't know, and otherwise just waste a lot of your time. I'm pretty good at it. I'm good at wasting people's time. It's part of my charm, really. Hey, this is October 15th, 2019, and boom, payday for some people who get paid on the 1st and the 15th, like my adorable wife, Cindy Brown, the queen of everything. So happy payday to you if you fall into that category. Here's why the hits just keep on coming. Well, first of all, work. Work was work. I went to work, I worked, I'm on my way home. That was about it. Oh, no. We have a bit of news for you people on the other side of the camera. That was an accent, not mocking anybody, baby. I don't want to get any hate mail, all right? A couple things about work. I got to tell you, Saturday's harassment training, really paying off. Really paying off. The training was so good that I am now an expert at harassing my coworkers. I'm really good at it now. I got a pat on the back. Wow, Steve. Excellent harassment. That's why you're the boss. It was a ton of fun. I didn't feel comfortable with the sexual harassment part, though, to tell you the truth. They're all guys, and, you know, I tried tapping one of them on the butt, and, you know, it just didn't feel right. So, abandoned ship on that one. But there's another one. I think you guys have heard me talk about my HVAC contractor that I've been trying to tell King Arthur and El Director and my super duper intendant, you got to get rid of these guys. They're going to hurt us in the long run. We're going to get creamed by these guys. And they've been falling further and further behind. Nobody's listening to Chicken Little over here. Nobody's listening to me. No one. I got a call from the guy today that says, yeah, I don't think I can go the distance. I think I'm done. I hate it when I'm right sometimes. So now it's panic mode. Just listen to the super duper and we can avoid panic mode. So, you know, I'm like the third oldest guy on the job, maybe second oldest guy, maybe the oldest guy on the job at 56. I'm walking around, they all think I'm an old timer, you know. Well then to compound that, as we know, I've got the broken digit, broke the toe, oh my God, white hot pain. And so now I'm kind of walking with a limp, kind of hunched over a little bit. So now I look like a little old guy walking on the job. As if that wasn't enough, I was walking through a corridor that they were framing, and I stepped on a piece of wood, and it rolled like that. Rolled, like rolling your ankle, and right down on that pinky toe. Whoa! Oh my God, though. I think I may have had tears in my eyes, but I was like, I meant to do that. What? That's how I walk, man. I like doing that kind of thing. I don't know. Oh, that was work. Whatever with work. Hey, so this guy back here, right here, that's Shruggy. He used to be my producer back during the old Dirt show. We used to do live on Thursday nights, and yeah, he kind of wants his job back. So we're starting over, basically. He's just gonna be hanging out with me, kind of relearning the job of producer, and then he might actually start answering some comments or something for you guys on this channel. That's exciting news. So Shruggy, meet them, meet him. Boom, that's done. So, you know, I got to tell you, part of the show is I just talk about things that are heavy on my mind that I've been thinking about or whatever. And I got to tell you, this is going to be another one of those sort of religious ones that we throw out there. As you guys know, I've proclaim myself the High Emperor Lord Steve of my religion. I haven't figured out the name of the religion yet. Steveism? Steveism! Shruggyism? Steveism. Steveism. I'm a Stevist. And then my nemesis could be the anti-Stevist. Oh, I hope that wasn't blasphemous. I'm sorry if it was. I'm just trying to be funny, people. Hey, but one of the things in my new religion we've been pondering is this whole creation evolution thing, all right? Because in the Western world, anyway, I'm not going to speak for the planet. In the Western world, you got a couple of speeds. You got strict creationism, the biblical account, 6 days, boom, from nothing to something. And here we are. Then on the other extreme, you got the science geeks all saying, you know what, we can trace this thing back through an evolutionary process to primordial soup. You used to be primordial soup. A bolt of lightning hit you or something and you became this. You know, so there's two camps, but then there's a third camp. There's a camp that says, hey, you know what? What difference does it make? Birth, school, work, death. In the end of it, who cares? It's not enough. And I find myself mostly in that camp, and I'll tell you why. I've got problems with the strict 6 days of creation story. The very first beginning of it there is, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void. Without form and void. Now, I used to do the pastor thing. And trying to prove the creation thing. I was deep into it, baby. I ain't lying. So I looked up those words, without form and void, that whatever, and it can mean all kinds of different things. But if you look up in the Hebrew language, the phrase without form and void, it's used one other time in the Old Testament, and that was in a prophetic book with the prophet talking about how when God's done with you people, he's going to lay waste. Basically, you will be without form and void. So in the beginning was the heavens and the earth was without form and void. Just put a pin in that real quick. I found the Christian scholarly types will tell you that the earth is 22,000 years old, based on the timelines recorded in the Bible and history and all that. I don't disagree with that. I don't agree with it. I'm just saying that's what they say. I found a bit of evolutionary study that traces back this incarnation of humanity back to the missing link, which is there's more like what we're going to call Cro-Magnon man, Neolithic man, ape man, Batman, whatever. Then there's a missing link between that evolutionary process and the Homo sapien that is me, right? I'm a Homo. Well, that evolutionary missing link is missing at about 22,000, 23,000 years ago. I saw a study on it, people. And I thought, well, that's interesting. So I'm just wondering if the Earth used to have a whole thing going, dinosaurs, people, primordial soup, and it was laid waste by something or someone, and then human beings showed up. I don't know. So my problem with it is the 6 literal days of creation is the Earth was clearly created before day 1, right? Because it was without form and void, and then there was the light thing, all right? And then, you know, in my Bible school, one of my teachers, I forgot what class I took, professed to be an evolutionist, which I thought was remarkable at a Bible college, and showed us how the 6 days of creation is a Hebrew poetic style of saying something. It's not really 6 days of creation. So, you know, here's the thing. It could have actually been. I see problems with the way it's been interpreted. I see problems with the account. It doesn't really work for me. So there's that. So you'd think then I would go rink as a science geek over to the evolution side. Nah, there's some problems there too. I'm sorry. With that, let's just try to do this briefly. Primordial soup to where I'm standing right now. Or sitting, or even Shruggy over there just showing off. Hey, quit showing off, you little pink poo-poo head. There are certain things that have developed in the human being that would have no evolutionary reason to do so. I was thinking about this the other day on my way to work. For some reason I wiggled my toes while I was driving. I don't know why I did it, but I thought to myself, interesting, how many bones, muscles, and tendons are involved in that little action? And that got me thinking. If I didn't have bones, why would I need muscles? If I didn't have muscles, what good are bones? And how do the tendons play into all of that? You know what I'm saying? They had to have, there's a mutation of primordial soup into its first fish or whatever. It mutated. Well, there had to be a mutation that made that being stronger and more resilient so it could reproduce. And then we get more stronger, more, and then another mutation to get even stronger and more. Think about something more complex like the eyeball. The eyeball doesn't just sense light. The eyeball actually has a connection to your brain. It's got cones and cylinders and curlicues and all kinds of stuff in there. And if it was just something that could sense light, so it would scurry into darkness, so the dinosaurs wouldn't eat it. Wait, there wouldn't have been dinosaurs. There was no threat. Some of these things, the heart, blood, and vascular system, they would all have to pop out at one time or nothing would work. Without blood, the heart is pumping nothing. Without veins, the heart's just popping blood out of your nose or something. These complex systems, I have a very hard time just agreeing that they just popped out as part of a mutation, even slowly. Hey, look, one drop of blood and one hair-sized vein and an acorn-sized heart. Well, it doesn't matter. They have to work as a system. And so that in and of itself is kind of kills me on the evolution thing, all right? So you think about, your hardcore evolution, consider the fact that while they've shown you a picture in some textbook of a monkey turning into a man walking, that is not a thing. Some artist came up with that thing, all right? And they can trace back crap millions of years ago. I don't disagree with that. But they haven't shown me how they haven't proven to me how evolution, while it sounds good, the law of the fittest, yada yada, it sounds plausible, it's not probable, in my opinion. It would be as, the odds for it happening would be the same as some super being waving his arm and creation happens. It's the same thing, the same odds. So that is why in my new religion, Steveism, by the way, we have decided that we will not hold an opinion or write a book in our holy book about creation, because none of the options make sense, baby. We just don't know. So rather than getting into a hissy fit, arguing and proving one or the other, how about just, I have no fucking idea. How about just that? And we'll go through with birth, school, work, death, and I will see you on the other side with whatever's next. Okay, so anyway, those are my thoughts on how we got here and how I feel about it. So, hope you enjoyed that little dissertation. I've got more, baby, but I tried to truncate it. So, until tomorrow, which is Hump Day, my name is Steve Brown, and go evolve. Or be creative. Or whatever you think. I don't know, I just work here. Shruggy, save me.